How are you?
I'm the caretaker here, mate. What's going on this bit?
An interview. Barry! Barry Cox! Oh, mate!
There's no money in music, so I've taken up a caretaker's job.
Oh, mate, I got a real job. Wow, one from the city, mate. What a pleasant surprise. Yeah. I've just got off a plane.
I know you have.
Yeah, oh, well. Oh, good on you, Barry. We started playing together at school, and I think out of that, there was a little guy on the trombone and some guy on the scout drum. Barry comes slightly later. This is a school band.
No, I was on the scout drum. That was mine.
That was you, too? Oh, there you are. He was there day one. And little...
Billy Gayton.
Billy Gayton, yeah. And that kicked off as a lot of fun in a way, wasn't it? Then we started getting some work. We went in a battle of the bands, because we were just mentioning before Harry Bluck and his Plumbers. That's what they used to call his big band.
Yeah.
In those days.
Yeah, Harry Bluck, yeah.
Yeah, we came second. He's got the trophy at home.
It's called the Clap Trophy.
Yeah. But in those days, we would rely on the union to give you gigs. You know, that's the only way. And I just explained to him when Alan Riley came into the picture, his father was the president.
His father was the president of the
union. We got a little bit of work.
Yeah.
Networking, I think we call it nowadays. Yeah. How you been, mate?
I'm good, yeah. Still doing about one a month.
Oh, yeah, well, you know, we get blocks like this, you know, for a month, and then it'll be nothing for 2, then off again. But even that, I'm quite chuffed to even that, the fact that the bloody phone rings. You know?
Yes, I know.
And I know. Want to talk.
What do you mean accordion and drums?
You'd be you'd be my age, wouldn't you, mate? 74? You'd be...
Yeah, I'm 74.
Yeah, so I'm 75 next month, so we're very close.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm February, so you always were a bit older than me, weren't
you? And we had various different players in days. There was Dave Ellis, who became a very eminent player, actually, over east, playing in the symphony orchestras. And he's a bit of a whiz. So we had some talent, didn't we?
Yeah.
Some of the other blokes.
I've related a couple of the tales about when we fancied ourselves as the angry young men of jazz, and we went up into the country and played at that bloody dance. And
Mount Helena.
Was it? I couldn't remember where. I can remember your mum's car.
You might have been there that night. No, they didn't want it. Anything we were playing was not wanted. And consequently, everyone left the hall. There was another gig up the road. This was a long time ago, and people were bringing down music for waltzes they wanted. And that night, if there was ever a sin played, it was My Funny Valentine Done as a Waltz. Now that's saying something. Da, 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 da. You know, that's sinful, isn't it? And this bloke came to the door late, round about close when we were due to finish, and everything was awful. You couldn't wait to get away from this gig. They happen very seldom, but they do happen. And this guy came to the door, and Barry goes, "That's fucking it." And so I went with him. We all got off our instruments, and he walked down the hall, and as we got closer to perspective, this guy's getting bigger, and Barry looked up. "What is it you want, sir?"
What music do you want?
We're going to have a piece of
it. To fill him in, you know.
Yeah, we're going to... Yeah, we took her out of there. I've never been back.
And then the tyres were let down on the car. Your mum's Hilton.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it all happened.
How old were we then? 17 or something?
We'd be about 20.
Would we really?
Yeah, 19, 20. I think we're after school. No, we could even be younger. You're quite right. That was very early days, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of the gigs were weddings. But I would play the dinner music whilst people are eating. The conduct of a wedding was very strict in it. It was guaranteed sit down, and then the formal speeches. You've got to know your certain songs, you know, that Jolly Good Fellow and all that stuff. And then when they finished that, there'd be a little bit of a break, getting ready for the dancing. And then the drummer and the bass player would show up. He used to work as a trio, and off we'd go. We'd have built it up into a trio. I couldn't do one night, so the union got this woman, to do the gig, and he doesn't remember this. But I rang him up on the Monday and said, "How did that gig go on Saturday night that I couldn't do?" And he said, "It was a bloody disaster." He said, the woman, when we arrived, she was flaked out on the piano with 2 empty jugs, and everyone's up in arms in the wedding. The father, you know, all the powers to be to pay the money. They say she refused to play God Save the Queen, refused to do this, refused everything, just drank piss, got loaded. I don't know how you did the gig, but she was that pissed afterwards that Barry had to drive, took it upon himself, like a gentleman he is, drove her home. And when he got there, she wouldn't get out of the car. And as he's trying to coerce her out of the car and he put the door open, this guy's come through on his right going, "You're the boss that's been rooting the girl." and you told me that you just got your boot behind her and just exited her out of the car swiftly and drove off. It's madness, isn't it? I did one before the boys showed up, an Italian wedding, and what they did, they put all the kids down the front on about 4 long trestles, right in front of the stage, and you're up here, the little piano there playing like that, and they just, massive racket. Then a guy up the back would get up and say something in Italian, and which song, what do I got to play? And he's looking for the formality, the ritual. Is it Jolly Good Fellow? Which one are we at, you know? No, wrong. Didn't know, you couldn't tell. Yeah. You couldn't hear, and he was talking Italian anyway.
Yeah.
And right through the whole place, the trestles going, all the kids are across, and trestles are going up the hall, and there was one piece of spam on every plate. Were you involved in when we'd hire big limos? No. We had Pontiacs, and the piano would be there, and the PA and everything, and the saxophone and drums and everything go in the boot, because the boot was the backyard, you know, about that deep. And yeah, a lot of fun out there, and a typical Australian wedding. And I'd like our daughter to come up now and say something. "Oh, gee, Dad, I didn't really want to." "Come on, start talking." Blah, 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 blah. And this guy comes hiking out to Dad. "Drop it. They've got trouble with the keg. Just run off and leave the bride in the middle of
trouble with the keg."
Yeah. So
get your priorities right.
Trouble at Bill. leave the daughter right in the middle and just stand there. Good stuff. Something that Barry and I used to do, big Jim.